So nobody's really in trouble. Alex just wants to follow up with some things. First of all, before we start, how did tonight go?
Terribly. Like just
Oh,
being blunt. Those were some scrims.
that was yo. Um, should we start with the last scrim situation or the
If
first
it,
scrim? I guess basically one player. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, if like
All right, I'll kick this off. We so obviously at the first scrim, we're ready, everything's going fine, and then I see Greg's reaction to the post change to an X, right? And then at the same time, when everyone's in the VC, I see Greg playing Rocket League duos, and Xav tells me that he's with his e-girl again. And then, okay, second scrim, not his fault, his Wi-Fi went out, his whole area, it went blackout, right? But then last scrim was frustrating because he didn't want to play, even though he was able to. Um, yeah, if you were in call, you could hear like, no, 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 I insist you can play, bro. I don't want to play. Like he
it
was
was
like,
literally a mix of it was Greg, JD, Shiga, and Zav all attempting to pass off the rights to play in this scrim.
yeah. So we're having our main roster fight with our subs to make them play. Like you're on the main roster, you signed up to practice, and they don't want to play. And they want the subs to fill in for them. Like he doesn't just doesn't make sense. And then Greg left the call, and then yeah, Greg left the call. Shiga had to go, so we had JD and Exile play. Um,
Okay, well,
yeah.
that'll be something you will discuss with Alex, because I'm sure Alex, if that's like the multiple attempts, then I'm sure Alex is gonna probably do something with them.
No,
So,
yeah, it's been like this the whole trial week. We've legitimately never played with our full like four roster players
Mm-hmm.
because either okay, Lack he couldn't make one day, I think, because he had something pop up. And then Greg didn't play, even though we saw him play Rocket League. Or yeah, I don't know. We just like
okay,
Judah was always there, but yeah, Greg's wants to play Rocket League instead of actually playing us with us. He said that. He said that, bro, I want to go play Rocket League instead. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Yeah.
He's on the main roster and he's just not wanting to play, and I don't see the passion there. I mean, we had to talk with Xav. He clearly wanted to play, but he also didn't show up. He didn't have that urge to play either. And yeah, and Greg definitely lost it. I mean, he's like he legit doesn't want to play. He rather spends time playing Rocket League rather than improving at the game or playing CS with Xav or playing with his e-girl, right?
okay,
Um, so and this has been on for like a whole month. Okay, the e-girl thing was like new. It was this entire week, but the whole like not like the whole time like that we've had him on the roster, he's like never like played Valorant or never seemed like he wanted to improve or had that determination to win these scrims.
okay,
Um,
okay. And
but
what about
then
Zav? What's his deal?
yeah, Xav, he's going back to his old ways. He's over aggressing in scrims. I've been trying to tell him to calm it down, and now he doesn't want to play scrims. His mental's kind of like everywhere. Um, he gets really mad easily. Like I've had talks with him. Um, he just like reverts his old ways and plays like he doesn't care. I mean, Lack DM'd me mid scrim. This guy DM'd me. Okay. Um, I'm getting kind of annoyed. The Neon player's just getting W keying. I can't trade him. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
so yeah,
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 I have plenty of footage from Zav in that last game. He literally was just W keying into site and dying.
yeah. And
Like,
Lack said he even said there's no synergy on this team. I'm not. He's not the best player on the team. He said that, but he's just saying that they aren't playing like a team. And then he wants me to tell the Neon player to slow down. He has no discipline. He's just W keying. But yeah, so and then I had to drag Xav into a call for that second scrim before it started, tell him to calm down, and then it kind of came back later towards the end of the scrim and the third scrim. He just didn't care. He was quiet the whole time.
Okay, so with that being said, we'll probably have to kind of possibly look into probably letting those two go, because it just doesn't seem like there's any improvement from those two. And if that's the case, I'm not gonna sit here and trial more people unless we have three people to replace them. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back into some other DMs from other people that we've trialed that are a little more passionate than those two are. Because I already know based of everything you've told me that Alex is probably not going to tolerate that.
Yep.
So
And
Nathan, this is the time to bring up your idea.
so one more thing. Okay, I just want to add one more thing before I get to that.
Okay.
Judah as an IGL tilts way too often. He does these like microaggressive like complaints like, yo my god, he's just jumping and killing me, bro. Like he gets like frustrated easily and like expresses the frustration to his team. It's low-key like quieting the comms. Um until someone like brings the comms back up. Same thing for Greg and Xav during scrims. They keep talking in French, and it's kind of excluding like the rest of the players because they don't know what they're saying. And then after they stop speaking in French, the quiets just go dead silence. But the main thing I want to highlight here is like Judah's role as an IGL. He's kind of tilting too much, and he's not playing. Well, he's trying to get back into like Immortal, but I can see by his mechanics they're really lacking quite a bit compared to the rest of the team. Um, I'm not saying he's a bad IGL. I mean, he has some good calls, but the mechanics and the mental that you require to be at a high level is just not there. Um, that leads me to my ultimatum. I actually don't know if I used that word right, but it sounded fancy. Um, Rico, as I mentioned before, probably in your DMs, I hopefully did. Um,
I did. Yeah, I
he,
did.
yeah, he found another org, obviously, because he's like very good. I, I can tell you, he's worthy of tier two, but he left his team, but are still a squad of four. This includes an IGL. They have a VLR. They've played multiple like scrims together. And like VLR Mustard Fun Haver like games as well. Um, they've been for a while. Shiga says they're really good, coming from Shiga, who was our best player at one point, and Rico also backs him up as Demon Aimers. Um, so they have four players. They're ready to pick up. They're interested 100%.
Okay.
And then currently our best player is Laxzua, and I really feel bad for him that he's stuck on a team like this, and
Yeah.
he's also frustrated because of this. So
Mhm.
I think we just have a piece of the puzzle just to like put them all five together.
Mhm.
Uh, Nico is the guy's name. Rico's like ex IGL. Um, Nico's his name, and he says he's down. Like I sent Laxua's tracker to him, and he says he's down to trial them into their five, see how it works. And it kind of fits because they're looking for a Senti, and Laxua plays Chamber, so
And
yeah.
what region is that team?
So they're like a mix, but they're mostly West. But I think that's fine. I think that's completely fine if most of them are West.
Well,
Um,
because Alex is West, so I guess it just
yeah,
really
that
depends. Like, I'm not sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm not shutting you down or anything. Every time you've sent me messages, I've heard you out. So yeah, I will agree. Kind of the lack of the progress of this team has been kind of mediocre. Um, we just need to make sure that if that's the route this team goes, I think you guys, obviously Alex hasn't been I don't know how much he's communicated with you guys, but he's been DMing me all over this week. So
Alex has not messaged me in like a month.
I would say let's bring that up, or at least message him that, and let's see how he feels, because honestly, at this point, I'm cool with whatever. But with Alex coming back this week, I think we need to make sure that he's on board with that too. And I'm sure that he's willing to hear both you guys out to an extent. So I'm cool with whatever. We just gotta make sure those time zones work because West players are 2 hours ahead. I'm 1 hour behind. You're 2 hours behind. All that good stuff. So it's just a matter of all of that, making sure coaches can show up for certain things and whatnot. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all I really have to say to that. I would probably just shoot Alex a message, you, Nathan, as the assistant, saying, hey, this is my thoughts, and kind of, what you think. And you can be brutally honest with the current roster to him when you message him. If you do that, you can be brutally honest with him about how you truly feel about it and kind of what steps you think should happen. And then that way he has some time to think about it. Otherwise, with that being said, if that is the route we go, then we just kind of have to hold on to this roster until, you and Alex come to a decision, right? And if that's the decision you guys come to, then let's get Lack in that trial. And then what we'll do is we can pick up the team, get Lack in the trial, and see if it works, and then go from there. And then, obviously, we've got the team. Then, Shiga and JD are still available from time to time. But the biggest thing is once Alex comes back, he wants to get working. He wants a consistent schedule. He wants things to run a little bit smoother and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that will be the case once he comes back. But that's pretty much it. So I'm down for whatever decision happens. I mean, I'm very open. I want to have a successful team with a successful org. So whatever we need to do to be more professional, let's make that happen. So keep some of those in the thoughts of the back of your head. Message Alex. I know even if he doesn't reply, message him because he'll at least see it. So make sure you inform him about everything and all your thoughts, whether that's you or both of you. And let's keep him in the known. Don't know what time he comes back Thursday. He just says he's scheduled to come home Thursday. And we'll just see if everything works out. So that's kind of his tentative itinerary right now there.
You gave me a deadline by Tuesday. I'm wondering if, since Alex is coming back Thursday, during the times that he's not here, we trial so that if it works out, then Alex just gets on the road and starts right away.
Yeah, instead of waiting, I think the best option is just get the team in here as fast as we can. Just
okay.
Yeah, if they're all available tomorrow, we can honestly run scrims with them tomorrow night and just
Okay.
see how things go.
I'm gonna make
Yeah.
a group chat. chat, okay? And
Make
then
it separate.
so
Yeah, just make
yeah,
it.
separate.
Yeah. Make it separate.
yeah,
group
we're
chat
doing
with-
this all in private. The team
Yeah.
does not know.
Yep, exactly.
The Lack.
Nico, make Nico's and put Lack in it, and I agree. Let's start with that. That way we at least have a backup, and I'm totally okay with that. I know I was a little harsh in my message, but to be honest, that's just me being blunt in what I want, and you always gotta remember that I'm always willing to hear everybody out, but sometimes when I message, I'm very straightforward with what I want. So I appreciate you coming back and just talking to me, and that's all you got to do. So I think that's fine. Let's do that. Let's get rolling on that then. Like I said before, that May calendar's temp. Alex just wanted me to put that out, so that way we have it. Other than that, cool. Now, before we kind of get into any other loosey goosey, now kind of down to the more professional things. Mr. Nathan. Alex has kind of voiced his opinion about how kind of disappointed he has been in kind of your professionalism towards the current roster. Do you kind of know what I'm talking about, or no?
Ooh. Not really.
Okay, and like I said, you're not in trouble, and Nathan's just or not Nathan, Nova's just kind of here because he might have some insight too. So, Alex knows that you are new to the role, and he knows that you've done a lot of his heavy lifting, and he appreciates that, and he feels really bad. So he's not gonna take that away from you. You've done a good job. I hope you feel like you've done a good job. It's a lot of work, and I know it's a lot of work. I've been in your shoes before. Nova's been in your shoes probably before too. It's a lot of work, and it can be.
Yeah.
It's very stressful, and you've done a very good job, and I know I've been very forward with you, but that's just kind of the reality. And You just got to put your big boy pants on. And you just got to be like, yes, yes, Kaylee, or yes, Nova. I'll take care of it. And you've done a great job of handling things. And I know we're probably about to take a different path, but just keep it up. And then sooner or later, you'll be able to just help Alex with things. Now, what I'm talking about is Alex is a little disappointed with how you kind of interact with the players. He sent me screenshots of every single conversation that you've had with everybody. So what I'm talking about and what he's talking about is Judah says, any chance we can switch bind? It's no longer in the map pool. You say only for trials, Twin. He hates how unprofessional that is. He doesn't like your wording. He thinks that's kind of childish. And then you say something else to Greg. You reply to Greg. You say, fix it, please, Twin. That's kind of unprofessional. He doesn't understand why his assistant coach is like talking like that. And to an extent, I can agree, because here Alex wants to have a more professional team with coaches who respect their players, and vice versa, right? The players should respect you, and then you should respect your players. So he needs you to watch kind of how you talk and interact with your players, because saying Walla on God is very unprofessional to him. He thinks that's very highly inappropriate. So that's kind of the biggest thing he's seen from you. So all he asks is just to kind of watch how you speak to the players. Be a little more professional. And if you don't know how to be professional, or you're unsure of what you want to say, you can talk to him, you can talk to me, you can talk to Nova. But Alex was just a little disappointed, and kind of that's how his assistant coach is kind of acting. He kind of had a little bit higher standards, and he thought it would have been shown, but it wasn't this week. And so he's hoping that can change. He's not letting you go, and he's not like majorly disappointed. He's just very embarrassed that is his assistant coach. So I just want you to be careful how you talk to your players, because it's 2026. People are very sensitive. People can joke, and then people can take it the wrong way. Let's just keep it professional. Let's just be very straightforward and basic to the point with our conversations with people. If the players are being goofy, there's no reason for you to be goofy with them. And to be fully honest with you, we ain't buddies with our players. That this core four is only a week new. Like we ain't a huggable family yet. So there's no reason we should really be that kind of loose with everybody. So just keep it professional. Obviously, people like Greg, we've had issues with, and everyone's been handling that with me professionally, so thank you. And, we'll let Alex know. I need you guys to kind of let Alex know kind of what's going on there as well. But that was the biggest thing for him. And I don't know if Nova has anything to add on to that, but that was Alex's biggest concern with you. And so I hope, Nathan, that you know that while you're not in trouble, but I kind of hope that you kind of see what Alex is getting at, and kind of how the interactions are, and kind of how we can adjust that going forward. So that's the biggest thing from Alex. And so this is kind of where you can share your thoughts, or if you just are like, got it, won't happen again, awesome, I'll adjust, cool. But I'll leave this open to any comments now.
Yeah, I got it, but I think he might hate some twins, bro. I don't know. I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know.
The way I traditionally think about it, this is just how I've worked in all my orgs, is unless a core has been together for like 6 months or more, they're not really friends at that point. They're more like coworkers to you, and you kind of have to treat it like that. Like you can
not.
you can make some jokes and stuff around them, but at the end of the day, there's going to be roster changes made eventually, and like players are going to move around and stuff, and it's best if during the time that you are with these guys that you remain professional, so if you ever have to work with them again, you have a professional relationship to go off of.
Absolutely. So
That's how I view things.
Yep, and I think Alex would agree too, because he's been in that situation too. So Nathan, all I'm gonna leave it with is you're young. I get it, you're a senior in high school. It's not really that you're immature or anything. It's just that you're
Nah, I am,
learning.
bro.
Yeah, you're just learning.
Don't
You're just
lie, bro.
learning. You're just learning, and I think if you're someone who thinks like very quick like me, and I type really fast, just slow down, think about what you're typing, and think about how you're gonna speak to that individual, and just keep it professional. Because Alex went on a big rant about how he felt about that, and I just want to make sure that you two get along and that you guys can work together. So just keep it professional. I'm not mad. Am I upset about that's the conversation I got from him? Yeah, and I hope that you can reflect a little bit on that and just change and move forward. But that was the biggest thing. Otherwise, Alex, the only things Alex says is he's super sorry. He knows that a lot has happened and he's doing better now. And so the family's recovering and he's definitely ready to come back and work. So if this is gonna be a West Coast team, then let's just do what we can. Let's get the trials going real quick till Thursday when he comes back. Make sure you guys text him with any personal things that you guys had for him. That way he at least has it in his DMs. And then when Thursday comes around, we'll see what shakes. Other than that, that's all I've got for you guys. I appreciate all the comments about Greg and Zav and everything else and Lax kind of frustrations and all that good stuff. Like I said, I think Judah's a great person, but I think he's got some things to work on. And I think that if this core 4 is just really good in their aim race, I think we just have a better chance of getting somewhere.
Everyone on that team, just from my looking, is like MO2 plus right now, and one of them's
Yeah.
Radiant currently.
Yeah. I just hit Radiant last night. Woohoo! Anyway, besides the point. Yes, so that might be a great start. So let's get stuff on that, make a group chat, and within that group chat, make sure I'm in it, and then Alex is in it, and then Nova, whoever else, just the core, whatever needs to be in there. Get that group chat set up, and then let's get started on that. That way we can see how they're going to perform together. Other than that, I have no other questions. We're going to continue to do our best. We're going to be professional. We're going to treat everybody with respect, and we're going to be better, and we're going to be good human beings, and we're just going to be better each and every day. Any questions?